The death toll from Friday's devastating earthquake and tsunami in Indonesia is now more than 820, and that could rise into the thousands. This afternoon I spoke to Radhika Pinto, who works for World Vision and is in Palu, where hundreds are feared dead. He described the damage.
There's many houses devastated by tsunami. Many building is cracked and down, the building. All hotel is also cracked and down. So many buildings not safe for people to live in. They need the water, they need food, they need shelter, and they need blanket, and also they need the cover of dead body, because many dead body in the under building, under ground.
Now, dozens of people are feared trapped under collapsed buildings, as just explained by Mr. Pinto there. That's in the city of Palu, with rescuers unable to reach them until heavy machinery arrives, and that could be another day away. Zach Fleming has more.
Towering waves up to 6 metres high devastated the island of Sulawesi following Friday's earthquake. Many of the victims were swept away, and when the water subsided, it revealed the city of Palu in ruin. Rescue teams are scrambling to dig out people trapped underneath what's left of the city 1,500 kilometres northeast of Jakarta. Aerial footage shows entire areas flattened, as if nobody ever lived there. Dozens of people are believed trapped alive under the rubble of 2 hotels and a mall. One woman said she narrowly escaped as the mall crumbled around her.
I just finished shopping and went to the cashier. Suddenly everything got dark and the walls started falling around us. It was horrible. I rushed to a broken escalator with my daughters and we made it outside.
Rescuers are waiting for heavy machinery to arrive, but President Joko Widodo said that's not expected until tonight. Visiting Palu, President Widodo said the damage was worse than he was expecting. Meanwhile, Indonesia's National Disaster Mitigation Agency spokesman Sutopo Nugroho confirmed that 3 areas have been cut off entirely since the quake, so he expects the death toll to rise significantly, potentially into the thousands. We hope the data remains as it is. However, looking at the conditions there are still bodies unidentified, as well as victims buried under the ruins. There are also remote areas yet to be reached by joint search and rescue teams, he said. Of particular concern is a cut-off fishing town north of Palu, Donggala. It was the closest to the quake's epicentre, and hundreds are feared buried in landslides that engulfed rural villages. Authorities have confirmed grim images from the weekend of body bags lining city streets, with a mass grave now being prepared in Palu to try and prevent the spread of disease. President Widodo says Palu and the surrounding areas are down from 7 to 2 electricity power plants. The airport won't be fully functional for at least a week, and additional fuel supplies aren't expected for 2 days. Indonesia sits on the Pacific Ring of Fire and is regularly struck by earthquakes. However, questions will likely be asked about why the country's warning systems appear to have failed on Friday. The country's weather agency says a warning was issued but lifted it 34 minutes later. Officials maintain the waves hit while the warning was still in effect. Neighbours including Australia, Thailand and China have offered assistance, while the EU has sent $2.5 million in aid. For Checkpoint, Zach Fleming.